Hey guys, welcome to another Calibre Wings video, and this time around this is the unboxing and instructions video for our Ultimate Viper F-16D Hellenic Air Force 337 Mirror Ghost with half glass finish. Now this is going to be a one-take video. Most of the instructions is similar to the F-16C MiG killer that we've already done an instructional video of. This video will just highlight the differences on this particular model. So without further ado, we're going to dive straight into it. So this is the box. As you open up the flap, you will see the model inside. Some images on the inner part of the flap, and we'll just go ahead to open up the model. So you will first be greeted by this blister that holds the in-flight position bottom belly of the model, the engine dolly, and the actual tray that holds the model. Alright, so I'm going to just remove the tray, remove the blister. Alright. There's another blister here, we'll just remove that. We'll set that down. I'm going to adjust the camera. Okay. Let's bring that closer to us. Alright, so I'm going to also remove this from the blister so that all the parts are in position. Okay, so you want to have a pair of tweezers handy because we're going to need this to help us to position the canopy support rod. All right, so back to the model. You have your limited edition card. We'll set that aside. You have the model itself. I'm going to take out the model. So the model comes with landing gear already on. So we'll set that down. Okay, so looking at this, you'll see that there is a not in use section. That means this part here, this cavity is not in use. It's not because something is missing. All right, so we're gonna look at the other components. So this baggie here contains the nose for the radar open, as well as that little, you can see that it's that little metal rod for the canopy support. Okay, so we're going to leave that there. There's a pilot figure. The other pilot figure is already in the canopy. I'll explain later on. We will have the open engine nozzle, the crew ladder, the speed brakes in open position. Again, these are all similar to the MiG killer video, so we won't dwell into those. All right, we'll just put the model together and talk about the differences. So on this particular model, you have the difference being that we have printed the 70 years insignia symbol on the fuel tanks. Okay, so we'll put that down first. Let's get to the crux of it, which is the difference between this model and the MiG killer. So as you can see, the pilot in the rear is already positioned there for you. That's because in this particular model, it is extremely difficult for us to reach in to put the pilot in or to remove the pilot out. So even with a pair of tweezers, you can do it, but it's going to be very tough. However, the improvement that we'll do on the subsequent wave of D models is that we will have the canopy totally removable. At this present point in time, the canopy cannot be removed from the model due to the joint here, which actually clamps the pivot point of the canopy in place. So we are unable to remove the canopy without the pegs breaking. So we will not be able to remove the canopy on the Hellenic, but in subsequent D models, we'll be able to remove the canopy fully, and then you can put the pilots in by yourself, as well as you can have greater ease to put in the supporting rod. So speaking of which, we will now put in the supporting rod, and that comes in the baggie here. So I'm just gonna take out the nose and the support rod. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to hold the rod right pretty much at the bottom there, and you will want to locate the center of that piece. There is a hole there, and you will attach to the top over there. Okay, so I'm going to do this. So I got it into the bottom, and I'm just going to find the sweet spot at the top where it will just click into place. So there you go. So it's as simple as that. Again, this black support, trying to get the camera to focus here. So this black support has an indent in the center, which the metal rod can rest onto, and the top also has a slight indent for you to position the metal rod in. So there you go. This is how the canopy is to be displayed with the support rod in the center. All right, and then next we'll just put the pilot in, and it's as simple as grabbing him with the tweezers again and just slotting him in legs. There we go. So he slots in right there. Okay, so you will notice that his arms might be a little bit flared out. So what you want to do is you would just want to position him so that he has his arms, within the cockpit walls. All right. Okay, so there you go. All right, so the pilot at the back has his head turned to the left, and that's one of the features of our pilots for the F-16. So again, as I've mentioned in the other video, to expose the radar is simply just to take this off, change out to the open position 1. There you go. Okay, and what do we do next? We will change out the engine. Okay, so again, similar to the mid-killer, you just want to grab this part here and just wiggle it a little bit. Okay, so this one comes off first. So just wiggle it a little bit and you can remove the engine like that. Okay, so once the engine is removed, you can set it onto the dolly. But first of all, remember, this is the part of the aircraft. You want to take that out and put on. Again, there is a key slot and the keyway. So this one is the slot, keyway, and we just put it in. Hold on, let me find the slot. Hold on. So there we go. So the slot, that's the slot, and that's the keyway, and it just goes in like that. See, slot and key. All right. So the engine is done, and we just put it onto the dolly there, and there we have it. Okay, so we switch out the nozzle as we have seen, just like so. So there you have your engine for display alongside the model. All right, you have your crew ladder. You can place it right there. Okay, so I'm gonna now put the gear up configuration for you to see. So to make things easy for us, we're gonna put the nose back on. All right, we're going to remove the crew ladder, otherwise we'll drop off. And of course, we would like to remove the support bar, otherwise you can't have the flying position with canopy open. So just lift up on the canopy, lift up for the canopy, and release, and then the slot, and just come off. So keep this carefully. You don't want to lose this. All right, and you should be able to close the canopy like so. Okay, so if you notice there's some kind of a gap, that's because the pilot's arms are in the way. So what we're doing now is that we're actually revamping the pilots again. So for wave 2 onwards, the pilots will have their arms better positioned so that it will not obstruct the canopy from closing. All right, so I've just done some wriggling, and right now I'll close it again. Okay. Okay, so there's a bit of a gap still. We'll work on that. We'll work on that definitely. Let me see if I can just try to get his arms in again. Hold on. So all right, so take 3. Hold on, this is not right because he's at an angle. It's a little bit difficult for me to be doing this behind a camera, but we'll get it done. So what I'll do is I will actually put his arm behind the flight stick. All right. Okay. Okay, so I've already done it, and he should be able to. All right, we'll work on that. Okay, so we'll work on this pilot definitely, because if without the pilot, the canopy is able to close properly. So apologies on this pilot. He is just a little bit not cooperative at the moment. So I'm going to try again. Hopefully the fourth take, it will be done properly. Hold on. So I'm going to put it in. He goes in. Okay. So the pilot. You can see the pilot's actually in. Okay, so we pretty much done it better this time around. Okay, so again, let's change out to flight mode. So we're gonna take this off to help us. All right, we are going to remove this just by pinching it. This comes off. The bottom comes off like that. And we will put back okay. So you see it doesn't come off. We'll put this in reverse. So very simply, it attaches. See? It attaches. All right. We can get the fuel tank from here. And we'll attach it back here. All right, and of course we will put back the speed brakes. One and two. All right, we'll put back the engine. So how do we do that? We will take the engine, we'll remove this ring, we'll put back the aircraft part. Again, we find the slot. Okay, put back the nozzle, insert the engine back, and of course the horizontal stabilizer goes in there, and this one goes in there. All right, so okay, so this one is a little bit, there we go. Okay, all right, So if these parts are a little bit crooked, we just need to push them back in place. No worries there. Okay. So this is the half glass finish that we tried to achieve, because for the Hellenic F-16 in this particular scheme, it is often very darkened. So instead of applying the camouflage colors based on the actual FS colors, we had tuned them in such a way such that, you know, they look as close as they can be on the model to replicate what it looks like on the real jet, which is a very dulled out, darkened effect. So we hope that you will like this paint treatment that we have applied on the Hellenic. Okay, so again, once you have this configuration done, you can always put our Wi-Fi the router style display stand to prop up your model for display. Okay, so now I'm going to put back to the undercarriage. So again, I will remove the engine. Again, this comes off. Okay, so this might come off as well, so we'll just take it out. Okay, we remove the engine. All right, and then we will dislodge this part here. Again, look how it's done. It's just removing the tab here. See, just removing the tab, and the whole part comes off. Reattach the gear down mode. All right, see, it's not going to fall off. Okay, and reverse the process, put this back in. Okay, it's secured. Put the engine back in. Okay, so at this point in time, if you want to put in the air brake, speed brake open position, you can do so. So you just get the part. So this one here is labeled L, so it's on the port side. So you just move this, oops. All right. So you just move this aside for you to put just trying to figure out the position. Okay. All right, put that in. Okay. So again, for this other one, put that in. All right, so there you go. And we can just put back the engine nozzle and set it down. Okay, guys, I will now put on the Ordnance. Again, we're still doing this as a one take. All right. What I'll do is I will first of all put the centerline tank in. So at this point in time, perhaps we can highlight that we have done the effects on the undercarriage so that you can see it is not immaculate white, but it has a more realistic feel. So the centerline tank goes in. All right. And again, as I've mentioned in the other video, this ordnance are in line with the model. So what we can do is we can do it from inside out. So the fuel tank first. Again, you attach the fuel tank on. Okay, I'm right-handed actually. So we attach on the fuel tank. It's just a pack push fit, see? And then again, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to use my right hand to place the pack. On. Okay, and we're gonna put on the sidewinder on this side. Like so. See? The AMRAM like so. Finally, sidewinders over here. And the last outer wing pylon, we'll put it there. Okay, so that concludes putting everything onto your Hellenic model. And there you have it. So these are the extra parts, speed brakes in the closed position, engine nozzle in open position, of course the ring for the engine when it's in this outside display mode. You have your support rod for the canopy. You have your crew ladder. You have the open nose for when you display the radar out. The entire section of gear up configuration. All right. And the engine dolly. So we're coming up to half an hour of this unboxing video. Like I said, this is one take, so this would be how you would also experience the model if you are by yourself. Like I said, we are going to fix the pilot on the second wave, and again, like I said, without the pilot in the cockpit, the canopy closes just fine. And for wave 2, we will make the improvement for you to be able to remove the canopy totally, so that you can insert the pilots in and put on the support rod with a better ease. All right, so that's about it for our unboxing and instructions for this model. If there's any other questions, do leave us a comment. We'll get back to you. And We will see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Happy collecting. Peace out.